Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Sarah. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here. I'm still feeling a little sick. If this isn't your first video, we've been sick the last week or so. So I am still feeling kind of yuck. I still look a little rough. My voice still sounds a little off, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 freezer meals and 2 dinner ideas. The dinner ideas I'm sharing with you could also be frozen after they've been cooked for a quick reheat, but they're just things that we ate for dinner and I thought I would share them with you. So the freezer meals would be 1 breakfast and 2 like lunch or dinner type options. So we are going to have sausage and egg breakfast burritos, pizza, pasta, like pepperoni pizza pasta, and Texas trash bean burritos. And then for the dinner options that I'm going to share with you, they are barbecue bacon cheesy chicken and homemade calzones, or mostly homemade calzones. You'll see once we get to that part of the video. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. If you are interested in a specific recipe, you can go down to the description box and there will be timestamps listed there. Select the timestamp next to the recipe that you're interested in and it will take you directly to that portion of the video. I will also include the recipe for the Texas trash dip, the chicken, and I don't have a recipe for the other ones. So I'll include those 2 recipes down below, and then the other ones it's just stuff that I've done before. For the calzones, I am using a pre-made dough that I bought at Trader Joe's, but I can leave the link for the recipe for the pizza dough that I make often and have used for calzones in the past. I think that's enough chatting. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoy. Starting out with this barbecue chicken, like I said, I will leave the recipe linked down below, but I am just drying the chicken off, getting it trimmed up and cut into some smaller pieces because these were really big chicken breasts. I don't know where she came from, kind of turned me upside down. And then I'm going to mix the spices together, sprinkle that on both sides, spray a baking dish, lay down some sliced onions, which I actually already had sliced in the fridge, put the chicken down, smother with some barbecue sauce, sprinkle some cheese on top, and then bake. You bake for a little bit, covered in foil, and then you take the foil off to continue it. When we ate this, it did get a little dry. I followed the instructions for bake time, but cut it down by 10 minutes, and I still could have cut it down more, probably because my chicken was a little more on the thin side, but just beware that it might not actually take as long as the recipe does say. We served it with a veggie grains mix and a slice of bread, and I also had some bacon already made that we just crumbled on top. I wanna spend the night at hers and bring her one of my t-shirts so it smells like her perfume. Now I really get what the love songs are talking about. And I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? Moving on to calzones. Guys, I am no master calzone maker. These did not look pretty. Tasted delicious, but they didn't look pretty. So basically, I'm just rolling each calzone out. Could not get them to be a cohesive shape. It's okay. And then we just filled them with pizza sauce, pepperoni, and cheese. You could put any filling in these that you want. We've done like a Parmesan chicken, so we put like chicken pieces in there. It was amazing. Literally make them however you want. And then I just kind of roll the sides and use a fork to press it together. When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love. There's something about the way she laughs and the way she always dances when she thinks nobody sees.
when she's gonna miss her so. I tell her, baby, please don't go. I think you should stay with me. And I really get what the love songs are talking about. Oh, and I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you
Put a slit in the top so that when it's baking, it doesn't like bubble up and explode. You want the air to be able to release from inside of the calzone. And then I sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on top before baking. Again, they don't look very good, but they tasted delicious.
out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating, you can't stop looking at her smile. Then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love.
First freezer meal is just a simple sausage and egg breakfast burrito. So I'm making up the sausage and then I'm going to make scrambled eggs. I add just a little bit of milk to my eggs when I'm whisking them up. You could season them however you wanted. You could add in veggies. My family doesn't care for veggies, so I usually just put those on top for myself if I'm going to have them.
You always said we were the good ones. Like an 18-minute thriller movie. I always knew you always meant it.
And then once the sausage was mostly cooked, I just poured the eggs right on top of there. No need to dirty another pan or anything like that. You can drain the sausage if you want to at first, but I wanted that fat in there to help with the sticking of the eggs and also to give the eggs some flavor since I didn't season the eggs. And then I just use a cookie dough scoop for stuff like this. Use the scoop to put 2 nice size scoops of the egg mixture onto tortillas, sprinkle with cheese, roll them up. And then I take parchment paper and wrap the burritos just in the middle with parchment paper so that they don't stick together in the freezer. I know some people completely wrap them in parchment paper and then also wrap them in foil or plastic wrap. Do whatever works for you, but then I put them in a gallon freezer bag and label it and just put it in the freezer. We go through them fast enough that I don't think the double wrapping is necessary.
But now we're standing on the bedside too. Oh, I never meant to hurt you, but I hurt you, so sorry for that. Now you need space, I get it, like you said, it's alright. So I'm counting all the days till you'll come around to show me what you found. Since breaking from this misery, I wish that you could see me now that you're gone. Cause you need to be alone, away from our chemistry. I just hope you'll end up not without meant to last. I'm counting all the days till you come around. Or will you come around? Will you come around? Oh, believe me, we're the good ones. You know I always got your back. So please don't tell me that I broke us, cause I could never live with that. Oh, I never meant to hurt you, but I hurt you, so sorry for that. Now you need space, I get it, like you said, it's alright. So I'm counting all the days till you'll come around to show me what you found. Since breaking from this misery, I wish that you could see me now that you're gone. Cause you need to be alone, away from our chemistry. I just hope you'll end up not without meant to last.
Next up is the pepperoni pizza pasta. So boiling some noodles. I showed you these swirly ones at the beginning. I don't know how to pronounce them. But I also had a box of rigatoni that had like maybe 20 noodles in it. It was literally not that much at all that I threw in there as well. So Later, when you see the pasta and you think that doesn't look right, that is why. Chopping up the pepperoni, I made this pasta the same night I made the calzones, so it was perfect for chopping up the pepperoni. I used half of it for the calzones, half of it for the pasta, and then you just mix all your ingredients together. So it's the noodles and marinara or any sort of pasta sauce that you like, a jar of pizza sauce. I use some of the Trader Joe's pizza sprinkle seasoning. Definitely not necessary. You could use Italian seasoning as well if you wanted. And the pepperoni. Did I say that? I don't remember. We like pasta very saucy. If you didn't, I would maybe do a smaller jar of the pasta sauce or just cook more noodles. I just used what was left in the 2 boxes to get them out of the pantry. And then I have these meal prep containers. I just did about a cup of the pasta in each container and sprinkled with some Italian cheese. I did make sure to let these cool down completely. They sat out for a little bit until they were like cooled off before I put the lids on. And the lids, I just use a Sharpie to write on there and label it. It most of the time comes off when you wash them, but if not, if you just take like an alcohol pad or hand sanitizer and rub it off with a paper towel, the Sharpie comes right off. So you can reuse these containers over and over, and they are safe for the freezer.
As I'm counting all the days till you come around, or will you come around? Or will you come around? Oh, I never meant to hurt you.
Last thing I'm going to share with you are the Texas trash bean burritos. I'll leave the recipe down below. I didn't even look at it when I was making this because I have made it before. I know I didn't follow it exactly, but I just used Greek yogurt, the rest of the shredded cheese that we had, some spices, 2 cans of refried beans, and then we had probably about 6 ounces of cream cheese in the fridge that actually is in the microwave at this point that we've just been using to top bagels with. I put the rest of that in there. You could use an entire block. I think the recipe might call for sour cream instead of the Greek yogurt. And then I put it back in the microwave just to make it easier to mix all together. You could also warm it all the way through on the stove if you wanted. Just again, make sure it's cooled completely off before you put them in the freezer. And then the same process as the breakfast burritos, using my cookie dough scoop to put some nice size scoops of the bean mixture on there and rolling up the tortillas. We store these the same way that we do the breakfast burritos. Again, we go through them fast enough that freezer burn is never really an issue.
I don't think that I'm being that selfish right now. You said yourself you'd be breaking every vow. I can understand you're tired of this town, and I'm not saying that we have to settle down now. Just remember this: we could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out there, made us realize we're more than just stardust. Ignore this fact if you must, to do what your dreams are telling you to do, and I'll be out there looking for someone like you.
But that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you some motivation to maybe get a few meals in your freezer to help you out with busy mornings or busy evenings, or just having something for a warm lunch that you made homemade instead of buying from the store, whatever it may be. Maybe you got some dinner ideas from this. All of these things could be eaten the time that you make them too, and not just as freezer meals. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that really helps me out. Share with anybody that might benefit from these kinds of videos and these recipes, or that you think might just like my content in general. Thank you again so much. I appreciate all of you. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.